Hello everyone. So today, because it's almost Valentine's Day, the special love couple day where people are going to invite you on dates if you're lucky. If not, you make yourself lucky and go on a date. Still, without invitation. So what? You want to hang out. You just want to enjoy your Valentine's Day. Or some might not even celebrate Valentine's Day. What is Valentine's Day? Anyways, so this is going to be a look for really for going on dates, for going out in the evening. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. So I'm going to start with the eyes as usual. So that's really what I start with, are the eyebrows. So I'll do another tutorial really based on eyebrows. For now, I'm just going to be prepping them before I start lining them up. And here I'm just going to Longwear Concealer. So this is Pro Longwear Concealer from MAC. And my number for this one is NW what? 45. So NW45, that's my color. I put that under the eyes and I just go and draw already under the eyebrows. Bring it down a little bit to blend it in. A little bit at the top. Same here, because this is a concealer that really does much with my skin tone. So I can put really all around the eyebrows. It's not so bright or so much lighter compared to my own skin. All right. For the eyebrows, what I want to do is really just be using an eyeshadow. I'm gonna just use a dark toned eyeshadow, and what I do is I first wet this brush over here. It's a tiny brush with an angle. So it's an angled brush, and so I'm just gonna wet it. I'm just gonna wet it a little bit, put it in some water so that it can pick up on the eyeshadow. And the eyeshadow I'm using is this one. So I'm gonna use this one. So it's deep brown. This is the one I use, okay? And you can just use any tone, any brown that is closer to your eye, to your hair for your eyebrows. And what I do, I just make little lines that imitate my hair and that imitate the direction my hair is naturally going through already. And this allows it to look much more natural. So that's what I do. Wet the brush again, and let's go over that with the other eye. And you see, because it's just a deep brown, it's not a black eyeshadow, I'm able to really take risks here and just, be more aggressive with my strokes. So I'll just do light strokes here. Much better. All right. So now we're just gonna go line it with the concealer again. Because that's the thing. Remember how eyebrows used to be like drawn on your face? And I know some people or some makeup artists do this one line basically to connect the two eyebrows. I think it helps them just shape the both eyebrows to make them match as close as possible to one another. But I just find if you don't blend it in afterwards really nicely, that you're still left with that little unibrow line that you made, and I'm not a big fan of that. Anything looking like I have a unibrow, not a big fan.
Shade
so what
alert.
I do prefer is just making it look natural, making it look a bit less a bit less painted on my face, basically. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean it up with some concealer. I'm gonna do both eyes. I'm gonna make sure it's all clean all around. All right, so the eyebrows are done. They are all lined up, and I did pull them a little bit more here. I'm gonna put a little bit more, make it a little bit darker so you can see it here. This one is fine, just this one. And I always try to just make sure it measures up to the edge of my nose, that it doesn't pass the edge of my nose. Always making it. So now that the face is framed, I'm gonna start with the eyes. So to do the eyes, I'm gonna start first by just putting a scotch tape around that I've already cut up just so I can trace better when I'm putting a lot of products, changing eyeshadows, and you know, I can really trace it much better. So this is what I do at first. So we're gonna do this one there. And this will allow me when I put some product to just have that cat eye look. There we go. Okay, we're gonna start the eyes. For the eyes, I'm using this primer, so pre-base from L'Oreal. So first the primer, I'm putting just a little dot. It's transparent, as you can see. This will allow the product to stay much longer. So I'm just gonna start with putting some colors around under the crease. And the color I'm gonna use, because today I'm going with, I'm just gonna use some brown a little bit first, and then I'm gonna see if I want to put some other colors. Just a lighter brown on the crease. I do think it's always better to put a color that either matches my skin tone on the crease or a little bit darker than my skin tone. So the browns, the dark or maroons, or really deep pinks, so not too flashy. So that's what I like to start with on my crease. And yeah, I'm gonna do that here. And you see, now it's tracing. Even if I do pass the crease, I have the tape as protection, so I don't need to worry too much about where I'm putting the eyeshadow. So it says it's brown and a little bit of purple, a little bit of pink tones to it. So that's what I'm putting. And then I'm going to use the other brush, which was this brush here. So a little bit, the lighter brown basically, to start coming down the crease area here. Basically to connect the color I'm going to put under the crease and the color I had put on the crease. So that's what I'm going to do to connect both. So you can see the deep separation between the colors you're going to put under your crease and the other one. So this is how it's looking. I know, with the tape I look crazy. Alright. And now we're going to put some eye colors here at the bottom. Concealer. This is a concealer from L'Oreal as well, so it's Maybelline. And I'm using a much lighter than my skin tone concealer. So this is a lighter tone that I'm gonna use really to cut crease here. And this will allow to basically really make a difference between the crease and the color that I'm gonna be applying. All right, so I did the cut crease method. I'm going to be using now another color, basically pink. So it's like shimmery pink color. I don't know if you can see it. Gorgeous, gorgeous color, this one. So that's what I'm gonna be using. All right, so now that we've cut crease and I used the lighter shimmery, basically shimmery pink, right under the crease here on the eyelids, I'm going to be now tracing basically. And then, oh yeah, also just want to have a little smoky eye effect here. You can. This really does open the eyes a bit more. So you can also have a little smoky. I'm just gonna trace it first and then see if I do want to smoke it or not. Now to trace it, I'm gonna try basically by using the same thing I used for the eyebrows, because I just want a really thin line. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna use the black eyeshadow. So just a black, regular black eyeshadow, this one here, to do the tracing. Thin line. So we wet the brush, and you go over to make your line. And even thinner here. Then you'll see, once we do put the mascara on, you'll see how it will really come out nicely. So happy Valentine's Day. I'm gonna do the other eye as well, and then we'll be back. I'm gonna do really outline the whole eye. I usually only outline with the black eyeshadow over here, and then we'll see you soon. All right, so the eyes are coming along. So we did a little winged line, a really thin line. So this is the look I'm really going for Valentine's Day. Okay, and then now, are you ready for the reveal? Are we gonna remove the tape? Yeah, ta-da! So do you see how nicely traced it all stays? It all remains, so all the products remain really where I want it to be. Now we're just gonna prime the eyes, basically the under eye circles, and then really put some concealer on as well, and make it look a bit cleaner. I'm gonna do, I think, the foundation as well, but before I do that, I have to put some eyelashes on just to make it more dramatic and make my eyes pop. So these are the eyelashes I'm going to be using today, and the faux lashes basically. And yeah, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna just put some glue, the usual stuff. I mean, I think you know that process already, but if you don't, we're gonna make another tutorial for you to. Ta-da! So now we have the lashes on, and yeah, so let's just prep it. A primer. So I'm gonna use this primer. This is from it's basically from Sephora, actually, Makeup Forever. I buy it at Sephora, it's Makeup Forever Step 1, and I buy a smaller brush for your concealer. So this shouldn't be a foundation, but it should be really a tiny, you can see the brush now. It should be a tiny flat brush for your concealer. And then you can go over that flat brush to apply it, just so it doesn't go all over your face. And then go over the flat brush with your foundation brush. Still not using my beauty blender. I don't have a beauty blender. Am I the only one? Anyone raise their hands? Am I the only one not using a beauty blender? Is anyone using not using a beauty blender except for me? I'm like, there was a whole hoopla about the brushes, and it was all different styles of brushes, the size, the brand. We were crazy about brushes, and then the beauty blender came in, just came through, just wrecked the market of brushes, and everyone is using the beauty blender. And I'm like, but I was fine with the brushes to begin with. I had no problem with my brushes. So these are my brushes, and you know how I take care of my brushes? I basically use shampoo, or I use some conditioner, basically as if I'm washing hair, because this is, sometimes it's real hair. Even the synthetic one, I can use shampoo to get rid of the dirt and all the excess. And yeah, do you see how unified it's already all looking? I'm gonna put some foundation on. Foundation as well from MAC, and I use the mine is 8.5, so that's my number. It's the MAC foundation. All right, and then foundation a little bit everywhere as well. This is all to unify. So I don't go too much under the eye because I did put the concealer on earlier. And yeah. Stay there. This is that same color. Not using other products under the eye for now. The powder to set it all. And the beauty blender, I feel like takes so much product off. So this way, I feel like I just tap into the skin. The brush, I really feel doesn't take all the product away from my face. I don't need to be spending on buying more products. Just a drop. Yeah, so do you see? It really does match my skin tone. So the arms, the face, not a lot of big difference with the color. And because it's Valentine's Day, we're going with a more neutral look. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna use the setting powder, translucent powder under the eye. Gotta tell you a little secret. All my makeup goes into fighting my under eye circles. This is what I'm trying to fight against, this dark under eye circles. So what if I'm tired? The whole world needs to know I'm tired? No. So this is what I'm doing. It's just fighting the tiredness, the tired look, fighting the under eye circle. And thing is, sometimes I'm not tired. It's just my under eye circles are just much darker. And maybe there is a skincare routine I'm gonna start doing to repair that without having to hide it with makeup. Like I say, sometimes honestly just find a new skincare routine so that you make sure that you have your skin is ready. It doesn't need that much makeup to cover that much. Honestly, wouldn't anybody want to look like they have makeup on naturally? That's where I'm trying to get my skin to go. Just look like I have makeup on when I wake up in the morning. Just already skin unified, everything uniformized, everything is normal. So this is the setting powder, the translucent powder from L'Oreal as well. And then I'm gonna start the contouring as well using this brush for contouring. So I have this brush for highlight, which I remember because it's white. And then I use this brush for basically the low light, which is just the contouring with the darker colors. So I'm gonna do the contouring with the darker color. I'm using a deep brown shade over here. This is the shade I use just to contour with darker color. So right on top of my setting powder over here, making sure that my cheekbones are setting. All right, so I'm gonna put the contouring. This is the darker color already. Also right to contour the nose and also over here. Okay, and then we will be back for the highlights. All right, so you can see I already traced the highlights on. And yeah, I'm using, honestly, everyone has their own highlight. You can use just one that does much with your skin, just something a bit more shimmery and golden that matches your skin tone is what you should be using. All right, so I'm gonna blend in the highlighting, put some on top of my nose here, some at the tip over here, and yeah, it's gonna blend. So now we're gonna do the lips after highlighting and all that good stuff. So to start with, on the lips, always starting with moisturizing them first. All right. Now that's done, just gonna put some lip color. So because I'm going really neutral with the eyes, I don't have bright colors going on for the eyes, just like a shimmery pink color for the eyes. I'm gonna go with a bright lip, and I'm going with Ruby Roo from MAC. Can't go wrong with Ruby Roo. Telling you. MAC Ruby Roo. So I'm going with red lip because I am going to be just wearing basically a black outfit, and not too much colors on my outfit. And because for people who do have fuller lips, it is important to really outline your lips after you wear a bright color. So after you wear a bright red or pink, it's always good to basically using like the same contour method, just using a brown lip liner. There we go. Brown lip liner to contour your lips, just to make sure that it doesn't look so much fuller than it already is. Brings the lips back together and makes the color really do much with our skin tone as well. When you have a darker skin tone, the bright pink colors, the bright red lips, it does much better with your skin tone when you outline it with the brown. This is just to make the transition between your lip color and your skin tone as well. With a brighter concealer. So this is really a nice way to trace your lips. To look. Okay, it doesn't look like much right now, but it will. All right, so then you're gonna blend it in, and then. All right, so final makeup face bit look, contouring on point look, highlighting shining look. So this is it. What do you think? Am I ready for my date? Am I ready for Valentine's? More natural look, with the eyelashes being really thin, with the eyeliner being really thin, everything closer to the eyes, everything closer to the natural. And this is because every man that I've spoken to in my life has told me they don't like when the girl has too much makeup on. And sometimes you're like, well, I'm sure they would notice if the girl has nothing on, and they do notice you when you have some makeup on, but just always going when you do too much. They have a problem with the too much makeup on. So anyway, so I always try to keep it for dates. If you have your date with your honey, keep it simple, keep it more close to the natural look. And that's it. I just try to get rid of the under eye circles, and yeah. Have a nice Valentine's Day.